Unfortunately and unsurprisingly, Bitcoin and crypto have been turned into an election issue. Most recently, positive, vague messaging has come out of the Democratic Party specifically that indicates there may be some lightening up around Bitcoin and crypto regulations. But what was actually said? Let's dive into this. Welcome back, everyone. That's right. We are going to discuss Bitcoin, crypto, and politics. So it looks like yesterday or a couple of days ago, there was an announcement out of the Democratic Party specifically about Kamala Harris's support for the crypto industry. Now, there was a tweet that came from Sheila Warren, who is the CEO of the Crypto Council. Okay, and essentially here, this is, you guys can see it right here in the screenshot. Vice President Kamala Harris will back measures to help grow digital assets, a policy advisor to her campaign said, highlighting efforts to court an emerging cryptocurrency industry expanding its political influence. She's going to support policies that ensure that emerging technologies and that sort of industry can continue to grow. Brian Nelson, senior campaign advisor for policy to the campaign, said when asked about the vice president's efforts to engage the crypto community during a Bloomberg News roundtable at the Democratic National Convention on Wednesday. Okay, so what does that really mean? I know that people, even including myself, right? We consume information and then we formulate an opinion on it. So in this particular case, what of substance was actually said? Nothing, right? Like there was nothing of substance actually said. So there's no actionable items on this. This is just some very general pandering. At least that's the way that I see it. And again, I just want to point out, I am not I don't believe in the whole entire voting system. I think it's all a grift. The truth of the matter is that when we're voting to pick which corporations or which lobbyists, right, have the most sway on the government. So meaning, when we vote in one party, we're really just voting in the corporations that support that party. And that's the truth in my eyes, in all parties. So that being said, I don't think that, Trump is necessarily better. I know that some people will argue, well, we need to choose the person who's going to do the least amount of damage. Again, it's not about these people. These people are just puppets that are put in front of us. It's all about the corporations in the background, right? That's all it is. It's the corporations, the military industrial complex, the people that go to work every single day in Washington. Those people are the ones that work in Washington. This puppet they put in front of us every 4 years, this is just a show, okay? This is just a show and we're watching it. And my whole point is this, right? Look, Donald Trump, he's a salesman. He's a businessman. I understand that it could be argued that he would be, quote unquote, better for Bitcoin and crypto. But the reality is that we don't actually know that yet. Okay. We just know that he's pandering. Indeed, I think it's not a stretch to think that he would make more favorable laws in regards to capital gains and taxation. But again, right, it's because he's a businessman. So if we take these things out of the equation and we just look at them as two people trying to get our votes, right? Then what are they both doing? They are pandering. That's all. They are telling us things that sound like they could be great so that we make the logical leap in our own minds as to what they really mean. Okay, like, oh yeah, they're going to make favorable regulation, and then in your head pops in this idea that, oh, you're going to lower capital gains tax, or something like that. And then essentially it's just a narrative that you've made up for yourself. You don't even know what they've said because they've actually said nothing. Anyways, continuing on this path of politicians saying nothing. Okay, let's continue on. So here's a little bit more of what was said in regards to crypto at the the Democratic National Convention. So, and this is in regards to Kamala Harris. She's going to support policies that ensure that emerging technologies and that sort of industry can continue to grow. Nelson stated, responding to questions on Harris's efforts to engage the crypto community. So again, it's just absolutely nothing. Okay. And another thing here is Harris herself alluded to this balanced approach in a recent campaign speech in North Carolina, albeit without explicitly mentioning digital assets or crypto. The vice president pledged to focus on cutting needless bureaucracy and unnecessary regulatory red tape while encouraging innovative technologies while protecting consumers and creating a stable business environment with consistent and transparent rules of the road. So, of course, all of that sounds wonderful. All of that sounds like, hey, the government is looking out for little me and my best interests. Certainly. Certainly we can believe that. But again, we go back to what is actually going to be done once either of these people are going to be elected. That is really the big question. So I didn't want Bitcoin and crypto to be a partisan issue. I didn't want it to be a political issue, but the truth of the matter is that there is way too much money in this space. Okay, and this is, and look, that's really what it all boils down to, right? If you take a look at these issues that become very hot, I mean, the majority of the time, it's the economy, right? It's either the economy or it's healthcare. It's something along those lines, right? It's these things that are incredibly important to us, right? And to our survival and or thriving. So yeah, I'm not surprised that it's been made into an issue. I am definitely holding my judgment on both candidates. It doesn't make a difference. I just want to see what actually gets done after all of this pandering is over. Anyways, guys, that's all I wanted to talk about today. I'll catch you next week.